Everywhere in the world that I travel to, there is a place like this where I relax. I come to de-stress. Looking at this mountain just brings me out of the world that I was in into a world that's more calming, relaxing, pleasant, peaceful, joyful. Makes me smile when I think about the clouds flowing around the mountain, over the mountain. All the trees that I can see as far as my eyes, you know, my vision, my peripheral vision, my forward, up and down, everything that I see in my view, my field of view. And this is fantastic for me. And I'm hoping that everyone that watch my video will see that. There's always something in there that says, hey, relax. The world around you is going to be what it is, no matter what you do. So always find a place where you can retreat to, mind, body. Let it go. It's going to be there when you come back. There's nothing you can do about that. But you can always lay down. It's like you work. Some people work 16 hours a day. I know I did one time in my life. And when I arrive home, get something to eat, sit down, and get 5 hours rest, I felt new again. I'm not working 16 hours days anymore, but in my case, I can feel what's happening around me. It's like my whole mind and body is the earth. I can feel the universe. I can feel everything that happens in it. But anyway, welcome to my day. This is what it's like out there around me. See the clouds on the other mountain. Mountains covered in clouds. Can't see the peak today. Come around to this side. Today I can see the peak of this mountain. It is clear. Nevertheless, January 1st, I recorded a video. And I began to reason with myself whether I should upload it or not. And then finally decided not to, at least at that time. I was standing right here on this balcony looking at Singing Mountain. The sky around me was clear just like today. There were some clouds like pillows, floating through the sky around the mountain. I was looking at that green, those trees, all around me. This breathtaking beauty, I was just totally relaxed. Then I'm beginning to think about all the events of this, the first day, what they call the first day of the year. When people are sending out all kind of well wishes to each other. We normally have this habit of saying Happy New Year. Some make promises to themselves and wishes for others and themselves, that what they think, what they want to happen during the new year. When you look at the year it's coming, or that is here, sadly, for many of us, that year will not fulfill the promise of what has been wished for. A lot of people making promises and wishes are supporters of the wars that are being fought all over the planet. They benefit from it. That's why they're having these wishes. A lot of us not benefiting from the wars but affected by it, but wishing that things would change. The people who control those wars, who started them, don't care about the majority of the people who are negatively affected by the wars. But the people who get affected by the wars also support the wars, because they are in the frame of mind that if I'm an Englishman and the war in Ukraine, for instance, my government supports it, so as a loyal Englishman, I must support it. But looking around the English countryside and seeing that people are starving, spending ever-increasing amount of money on food. And this is not just England, it's France, Germany, America, here in the Philippines. And the worst of all is Africa. Because the Africans don't make as much money as the people in America. They make 1/100th in some cases. And in most cases, it's like 0.02% of what the poor American make. But I've heard some of them volunteered to go fight for Ukraine. The same Ukraine that had troops in Africa that were there to remove the resources, steal the resources for Ukraine. and for the EU and other nations in Europe. All these well wishes are not going to stop the war. The transportation system around the planet, transporting goods around the world, being disrupted by the war. And guess who is being affected by the disruption? The same people making the wishes. More people, especially single women and children, will become unemployed, homeless, and hungry. The once powerful nations, now weakened by the forever wars to control the planet's resources, now find themselves in the shadow of death. Western Asian nations, what you call Europe, find themselves on the point where their genes falling apart. So what's been happening is that they're transporting Africans into Europe, Western Asia, to strengthen the gene pool. And North America, though, is taking people from South America, well, all over the Caribbean, Central and South America, and wherever they come from, to help strengthen their gene pool. In Africa, the shadow of religion and tribalism, leaders are unable to chart a course other than that set by the US or the UN or EU. Can't grow food, can't produce clean water, good health care. The power of people's homes, no education system, the roads, no good. But the leaders of Africa can hoard resources for the Caucasian. And the same Caucasian or Arab or Indian in return will fill their pockets with some paper, which value is like, you watch the situation in Germany and France where the paper money is going the way, well, not use that word, but they fill these suitcases and their beds and dig holes in their farms to plant it, just to hide it from the people of their country. See, I got reminded of some lyrics that I heard. And one of the songs that I remind of is a song called From a Distance. From a distance, the world seems blue and green and the snow-capped mountains high. Another one is What a Wonderful World. They both talk about imaginary places outside of the reality. And in some cases, well, the reality and the two realities. We are dealing with the same situation where we make wishes for the new year, but the reality is, for most of the people who make those wishes, not coming true. When I was 22 years old, like all young men, I used to party. One of the places I used to visit was a place called Club de Grill. in Brixton. Those of you who live in England or from the Caribbean know about these places. But Brixton is a local area where most Jamaicans, people from the Caribbean, lived when they came to London. New Cross, Brixton, Clapham. Some live in Ipswich, and then there was Birmingham and Manchester, Liverpool. But in Brixton, on several occasions I emerged from the club to find that the sun had risen. I was so intent on enjoying myself that I lost track of time. I would come there like 1 o'clock in the morning after leaving some other club or some private party. And between the music and the girls, lost track of time. I say that because we can lose track of time. And lose control of our lives to others. But I'm kind of telling you, don't lose contract. Don't lose control of time. Don't lose control of your life. That's what is planned, but you can avoid it by watching things that are happening instead of just sitting and wishing. Especially for my African people. This is about the survival of the African. Every nation has laid out plans for their survival in this day. Some even before this day. Some plan your demise while planning to hold on to what they have. While we are partying, making wishes, African leaders are waiting for plans from the EU or India or Arabia or the US and not making plans for you. Wishing yourself Happy New Year is not going to change that. You're going to have to stand up and do it for yourself. And don't lose track of time. Don't let religion, your belief that, and procrastination, waiting for somebody else to do it. Let another day, a month, a year pass by, and then you have to make a wish for the next year, month. You repeat it every year uselessly. That said, sarcastically, Happy New Year. Relax somewhere, sit down and think about what you want to do for the next year that's going to change your life. Then get up and do it. Stop wishing. Peace. Stay safe.